All right, let's talk about employee actions. So looking at the, I'm going to zoom in here a little bit. I probably should have done that earlier, but oh well. Employee actions. So employees should log in with username and password. So that's my feature. As an employee, I want to be able to log in with a username and password so that the system can authenticate me and give me access to my own data. Notice that this "so that" is very informative. It's very descriptive of why I actually would need to log in with my username and password. And sometimes that really takes sitting there and thinking through a real practical reason, something that might be very obvious. That you would never really think about just because it's so natural. But it's important that we write out those reasons because it really does help us think through the process. Remember, the whole purpose of user stories is to create a unit of work for our developers and for our design team, and then also to create a conversation between the developers, okay, or between yourselves and your team. So the acceptance criteria says when an employee enters their username and password and selects login, then the data associated with their account is accessible. Notice here that I'm listing again all of my information, and let's make sure all the information has been brought over. Okay, let's see. First name, last name, email, password, position, and salary. I don't think it has. So let's make sure that all of those are listed over there. So it says first name, last name, email, password, position, and salary. So we're missing salary. So let's go ahead and put salary. And so this is going to be important too, is making sure that you can verify everything that's in your user stories with what's in the product backlog. You want to have exact details. Remember, since this is a unit of work, you want those details because when you pass off this unit of work to somebody, you want to be able to have them only look at this unit of work so they can look at this and know, oh, these are all the details that I need. I don't need to create any other details because these are the ones that I need. All right, let's look at the next one. As an employee, I want to see a list of rooms and their associated rates so that I can answer questions from inquiring customers. So here, I'm going to jump back over here. Where does it say that? So employee can view list of all rooms. And see, this is an example of having a little bit too much detail. Okay, so you can have not enough details, and then you can have too much detail. So as an employee, I want to see a list of rooms and their associated rates. So that seems like it should be assumed, right? So we have every room is going to have a rate, but in the product backlog, it just says to an employee can view a list of all the rooms. Well, that doesn't give us much information about what kind of room details, except for the fact that we just have a list of rooms. So if I was thinking through this and I was thinking, oh, well, it would make sense for an employee to be able to see both the room and the rate so that they can answer questions for customers. So I'm going to, and I want to put that in there. I think that that's a good thing that I want in there. So what I would do if I was a developer, somebody creating this user story, I would reach out to the product owner and I would say, hey, I think that this feature needs this other item, this other functionality. And that way the product owner can go ahead and add that feature to the product backlog or tell you, don't worry about it, we're not going to do that right now. And so I'm going to go ahead as the product owner. I'm going to say, I like that. I like that the employee can also see the rates. So I'm going to say employee can view a list of all rooms and rates. Now I'm leaving this written in black, but if you do reach out to me and we have a discussion, this will be a public discussion, we'll be doing this over Discord. If you do reach out to me with ideas or things that you think need to be added, then I might put these in red for you all to notice that this is something that's been changed. So keep an eye on the discussion board and keep an eye on the product backlog so that you can make sure that your assignment includes all of the changes that are added, because one of the requirements is that your documentation, your user stories have all of the items that are included on the product backlog.